Ow, but apparently Streamlabs decided to change my audio output. And I was like, no, we shouldn't be muted. My little Stream Deck display is telling me that we're not muted. Nope, it's just Streamlabs stealing my audio output.
That's
That's a
about
thing.
right.
That's about it. Hey everybody, I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to this channel. I have a wonderful guest tonight. This is Arvandus. He is a wonderful, wonderful, fabulous person who agreed to come help me join and add some new color and flavor to this wonderful world that I am building
I
for
love it.
Carousel Court. Um,
hmm
Introduce yourself so that the nice people at home can know who you are.
Hi, hi guys. You may know me online as Arvandus, real name Jesus Rodriguez. I have a podcast. I'm a part of Cult Fanimal. We played for over 10 years, a variety of different role playing games because we love doing it. I also have a YouTube channel called Arvandus where I basically do write stories and write lore videos about various war games because I'm a huge, huge nerd. And I'm here today to help create a NPC house for, was it Southern Georgian legacy or like house war game or some sort of like.
Basically, so the title of the game, I'm calling it Carousel Court because Peyton Place was taken. It is a Southern Gothic urban fantasy game that I am building using the Green Rune and house building mechanics from the Sword Chronicle system and the legacy mechanics from the Pendragon system. It will span from 1945 to the year 2000, and each 6 week season is going to be a different 2 decade period for the players. So history is going to change, and it'll be changed in interesting ways, but we need to populate this wonderful post-war subdivision, because this, yes, I am that big of a nerd. I did go online and find, because you can find these and they're publicly available, plot maps. A plot map from a subdivision from 1945 in Savannah, Georgia. So, we need to put people in there and make them interesting and make interesting characters and stories. So, oh wait, I have to share you one last thing because we were talking and we got into it and I forgot to share
Yeah, yeah,
one thing.
yeah. Put
I'm
two nerds start talking about Star Wars and we just forget about everything else. Let's
pretty
see.
much,
Yeah.
pretty freaking much. But here's the thing. I'm going to make your life easy
Okay.
because the biggest thing about this game is that it is, at this point, dice heavy.
Mm,
Um,
cool.
so I'm going to share the roll 20 with you to make life a little easier for you. If you wish to roll actual dice, I will understand, but we are talking about rolling. So for the house build itself, there are 7 stats, and
Mm-hmm.
you should have those 7 stats are HOA rating, which is basically your power, how much your positive offense, your influence, your wealth, your people, which is both the family members themselves and any employees that they may have, the land, physical land that the family owns, their
Mm-hmm.
reputation, and your magic rating. And again, this is an urban fantasy game, so there's going to be magic in this game. It's already lots of
Mm-hmm.
fun, interesting things are happening.
Okay. So just confirm it's HOA, influence, wealth, family, land, reputation, and magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good to
And
know.
for each individual stat, you will roll 7d6, or excuse me,
7d6.
8d6,
8D
8d6 minus 2d6.
8d6 minus 2d6.
Yep,
Interesting. Okay.
which is why I gave you the roll 20 so you can do it that way instead of, I don't know. Have
I
you
mean,
played?
I mean, I mean, I do have plenty of dice. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Right back. Where is my dice? Um, oh, there. I really got to organize my bookcase. I guess you're gonna hear a lot of dice falling. Give me a second.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
All the
there we
dice are
go.
great. We let you roll all the dice. I mean, do you have enough? the answer is you might have enough d6 for this, but do you have enough d6 to play Shadowrun?
I don't think anyone really has enough dice to play Shadowrun when you think about it. I mean,
This is true.
Existentially, but I do have enough dice at least to play this. Although we do have a Shadowrun game on our Fanable podcast if you want to listen to that. Plug. Let's see here.
You should just drop the link in the chat.
That is a better idea, actually. 1 second.
Make my life easy. Drop the link in chat.
True. There we go. For those who want to check it out. Let's see here. I've got plenty of the dice. Okay, I'm set. I'm ready. Got dice. I got a little tray so you don't hear. Actually, I've never. This is a one I got from like Wish or something. So let's see. Not too loud. It's fine. Okay, let's do this.
8d6 minus 2d6.
8d6.
For your HOA rating. First up.
Okay. 8d6 and 2d6. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 19, and that is a 25 minus 7, 18.
So a total of 18?
Yep.
So with an 18, that puts your HOA rating at, your home is a little well loved, but that just adds character, y'all.
Your home is a little what?
A little well loved, but that just adds character. This is where you're gonna start. Starting point. Remember, because we're gonna play with this a little bit.
Okay.
All right, and then the next roll, same roll for influence. How much influence is your family have?
10, 14, 18, 21, 22, 27 minus what is that? 27. So 18 again. Wow. Okay.
How do you get 18 on 2d6? Oh, you rolled 2D6? A total of 18. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like minus 18 again. I was like 18 on 2d6. I know how you can get it in 3d6. All right, so 18 influence is the debutantes talk to you once.
Nice.
Let's see how much money.
Oh boy, this is an important thing.
Yeah, the money.
So...
How much? What's your wealth like, y'all?
Oh, actually, no, this is pretty bad. So 11, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21 minus 2 is 19 this time.
19.
Yep.
Doing pretty good, actually.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm living it up.
Living it up. 19 wealth. You're poor. You live paycheck to paycheck, but you pay bills most months.
Okay.
I was like,
paycheck, pay bills most months. Perfect. Okay, roll again, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm. We got
Rolling
people
for
now.
Family. Family is important. Family won't let me down unless I roll poorly. So that is 5, 8, 13, 17, 20, 25, 30 minus, let's see, minus 10. So that's 20.
So 20, with people is you have a nuclear family, however you choose to define that nuclear family.
Nuclear family. Oh, I'm going to assume that's nuclear family.
Usually parents and children. Out, you know, if we're going by the typical, it's the parents and 2.5 kids, according to, you know, bullshit.
Yeah, but I think I like to imagine it as like on the out, like nuclear family, when I see it as like, oh, this is the perfect idea what a family is on the outside. On the inside is not as nice.
Yeah.
So on the outside, yeah, so I like that. Okay, anyway, we'll get into that when we do the thing.
Yeah, because this is just the starting point. We haven't even rolled the historical events that are going to change all of these numbers anyways.
Oh, great. Let's do it.
All right, so land. How much land y'all own?
Let's see here. So that's 9, 10, 13, 19, 21, 23, 27 minus 8 is 19.
19 for people. For land is your house is small, but you own it, and the land it sits on free and clear.
Okay. House is small, but you own it. And oh, should I make note of what the numbers are? I didn't.
No, I
before.
got it. That's what the Excel spreadsheet is.
Okay, perfect. I just want to be sure. I'm just writing the general notes. Okay. So I shouldn't. I don't know why I'm bothered writing all this then. Never mind. Let's do this. So what's next?
Reputation. What do other people think about you?
12. Oh. 15, 19, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Oh boy. 27, 32. 32 minus 5, 6, 8 is 26. Wait.
You're unknown.
Yeah, 26.
Unknown. You don't have a good reputation, or you don't have a reputation, either good or bad.
Okay. All right. All right. That's
Middle
not
of the
bad.
road.
That's not middle of the road. I can live with that. And finally, please roll high. I love magic. Come on. Let's do this. Come on. Let us all be wizards. We're all wizards. We're all wizards. Okay. So that's 11, 14, 18. That would be 23, 27, 30, 32. Minus 2 is 30. Nice.
30 is a very good number. 30 in magic is an established family with a small wellspring of magic that occasionally misses a generation.
Okay.
That's where we're starting at.
Okay.
But now we get the fun one.
Okay.
Now we get to figure out exactly how many historical events your family had.
Okay.
I need you to roll 3d6 plus 1.
3d6 plus 1. 1 second.
As in just 3d6 and then add 1 to whatever total you get.
Okay. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
no. Oh no, that's 3 ones. So that's 3 plus 2 is plus 1 is 4.
You know what? I'm gonna let you re-roll that. So we have
That
more
bad?
fun. Well, no, that means you only get 2 historical events. It's
Oh,
not.
okay. Okay, that's fair. Okay, let's re-roll that then.
Let's re-roll that.
Okay,
It's not
this
bad.
is much better. Okay, so it's 8 plus 1 is 9.
So 9. 9
Okay.
gives you about 4, or 9 gives you 6 relatively historical events.
Okay.
This goes back to 1820 versus
1820.
So what I did when I started this is and of course if we decide we need more, we can just tweak it because it's us.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, most got like 4 historical events or no, actually, Culture, we went back a little bit further. Yeah, at least between 4 and 6. Some depending. But so one of the things about this system is that you go back in the regular Sword Chronicle or in a Song of Ice and Fire, which is what the system was originally built for. You get certain number of ages, and then you roll the historical events based on those ages, and you get to evaluate. Because I'm doing it as this is an alternate history of our actual history, and one of the lore points I said is that the revelation of the supernatural doesn't happen until World War II. The actual revelation of it, because of the war itself. Well, I'll just read you the blurb because I can do that.
Please do it.
1945. World War II changed so much for the world. With so many countries joining in large-scale land battles and devastating bombings, the creatures and beings that once hid in the shadows, that most modern, rational adults viewed as superstitions from a bygone age, were forced into the light. The world knows that humans aren't the only beings on the planet, and now they must learn to live together. Carousel Court is a brand new subdivision, built on the former lands of a small plantation on the edge of the city of Savannah, Georgia. These homes are perfect for new families just starting out, for our boys coming home from the war and looking to start fresh, all within easy walking distance of an elementary school and a country club. But the biggest things that come out of this is that in 1941, at D-Day, or not D-Day, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, everything had already led up to this point where the revelation, because the bombing of Pearl Harbor, things could no longer be hidden. A bunch of magic users warned a bunch of people. You had already had, because of the bombings that were happening in London, you know, you have a bunch of Germans dropping planes or dropping bombs, and then all of a sudden there's only one house on the street that isn't utterly and totally destroyed. What's going on? How did that happen? All of these little things begin to reveal, and then in 1941, the supernatural basically comes out of the closet. Or coffin, as you were, if you refer to a different series. And
so basically, like Supernatural, like, it's like, oh, this is getting bad. We should Supernatural, instead of hiding during this huge war, decided like, yeah, this is getting bad. We're gonna have to do something because they didn't want their home to burn.
On one hand, that, but on the other hand, there just was no longer any way to really hide, right? Embedded reporters are now taking pictures of the bombings or the attacks that are happening. You have the just spread of information and the number of people that are happening. You just have these small things that are happening. This leads to a number of things that change, particularly for the war. There's a low-level magic user who is helping FDR recover from his various attacks at Warm Springs, which means he will survive to the end of the war. Which actually works really well when you realize that basically what FDR just dies of is congenital heart failure, or not really congenital heart failure, it's high cholesterol and heart failure, and everything that today would be imminently treatable with medication that they didn't have in 1945. And was made worse by the fact that because of his polio, he could not exercise. So you have a low-level magic user who can help him, deal with his little attacks. You're going to have some other interesting things that change. But the world history up until 1941 is publicly the same. There have been some supernatural things that tweaked a little bit of the causes of the events that people remember in history, but they don't change the events.
Gotcha.
So because of that, I was like, well, I don't want to have to deal with all of human history for these events to count for the historical events for each family. And I didn't want to have history begin at contact between Europe and the North American and the Western Hemisphere. I felt that was a little not cool.
I mean, fair.
So I picked an arbitrary starting date of 1000 CE. And then the other starting historical points are picked based on dates that are going to have massive impact in and around the area that will be called Savannah, Georgia. Which is why, for those starting events for this family that we're going to build, we're going to begin in 1820. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to roll what those events are and then go back and tell the story of what those events actually were and how they impacted the family and what they did. So, 1820, I need you to roll 3d6.
That would be a 6.
A defeat.
A defeat?
Yes. We had, in 1820, the family suffered a defeat. And that means that you roll minus 1d6 to every stat except reputation.
We'll do it individually or just one roll?
Individually.
Okay, so let's do HOA.
Yep.
-1.
Not bad.
Influence, -1. I love this die. Never mind, I jinxed myself. Wealth, -6. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a big drop.
Family, -5.
Lots of people died.
So many. All the people died. Land, -1. At least I kept my land. Reputation, -1. And magic, no, -6.
Oh no, you didn't need. So we're just gonna take that -1 because you didn't need all 7. You only needed 6.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, you didn't lose any reputation, so we're just gonna slide that -1 over to the magic, so it's fine.
Okay, all right, works for me.
Yep, the wealth roller coaster. Yeah. So then we're gonna jump to the next historical event, 1861 to 1865, a little thing we like to call the American Civil War.
That small thing? Okay, sure. We'll
Yeah,
talk about it, I guess.
we'll talk about it. I need 3d6.
That was cocked. Okay. So that's 12.
12. 12 is fun. It's an invasion or a revolt.
Invasion. Bolt.
I wonder if we're going to have another cursed house.
Okay.
I say this because my friend Elaine Ryan, who does some very beautiful art, literally rolled every single negative outcome you could have.
Oh boy.
Just all of them. So with an invasion or revolt, we get minus 1d6 to HOA, wealth, and people, and then minus 2d6 to reputation.
Okay, so let's HOA minus 1d6. That is minus 5. Minus d6 to wealth.
Yes. Wealth and then people.
Minus 4 to wealth, and for people, minus 3. And
then
2d6
to reputation. And 2d6 to reputation.
That would be a 8.
Okay.
1864.
1864. Where William Tecumseh Sherman be marching through Georgia and burning everything except the city of Savannah. Basically. It's the only settlement that they really don't burn on that march. 3d6, sir.
That is a 4.
Is a catastrophe.
Another cursed house apparently is happening.
So minus 1d6 to HOA, wealth, people, and reputation.
HOA minus 6. Oh boy. Wealth minus 3. People minus 4. Reputation minus 5.
We're down to single digits, y'all, in HOA, wealth, and people.
Oh boy. Okay.
You still have a lot of magic, though.
Yeah. I feel like if this keeps going, I think my family might be doing some dark dealings, but we'll see how things go.
Look, it's gonna be great. We had one of the players is playing an Incubus Succubus house, and they were so cursed because their original land burned down, so they moved into the piece of land that they bought, not knowing that this is the story that developed, that it was owned by a preacher and was consecrated ground, and basically for 150 years they just were seriously freaking cursed. And then they moved off that property, and people were like, wow, things get better. 1893 is the Sea Islands hurricane. It's the seventh most deadly hurricane in recorded history on the North American continent, and it just massacres a whole bunch of people. So 3d6.
That would be a 8. Oh, okay, not too bad. 12.
That's another invasion or revolt.
I am not having the best day. Okay.
So that is 1d6 to HOA, wealth, and people, and then 2d6 to reputation.
Okay, so HOA 4, wealth minus 1, people minus 4, and reputation minus 2d6 for reputation, right?
Yep.
Minus 5 to reputation.
This is where I tell you can't go below 0, and you will get to roll bonus dice after the fact.
Great.
1914 to 1918, a little thing we like to call World War I.
1918. Okay, that's 3d6. That is 11, 12, 13.
Ooh, this is the fun one. This is the eccentric ruler.
Eccentric ruler. Okay.
For each stat, you roll 6 minus 2d6.
So I roll 66 minus 2d6?
No. It's the number. So it's literally this is the equation. I'll put it in the Zoom chat.
Oh, okay. So I roll 6 plus minus. Okay, so 2d6 plus 6, essentially.
Yeah, 2d6, negative 2d6 plus 6.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. So.
Yeah, it becomes very swingy, is what it happens.
I guess. Oh, this is definitely swinging. Let's see here. So 6 minus 5 is 1. What's next? How many?
Just I'll go straight across. So you're going to do this a total of 7 times.
Okay, so that was for HOA.
Mm-hmm.
Second one for influence.
Mm-hmm.
6 minus 5 is 1 again. Next one is wealth. 6 minus 2 is 4. Next is family. 6 minus all the numbers is -3.
Okay. People dying.
6. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 6 minus family or people is.
Oh, land. We're on land right now.
Oh, sorry. Is -1. So reputation is next.
Mm-hmm.
6 minus everyone's dying. Minus 4 for reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And magic 6 minus 3. So -3. Sorry, 6 minus 9. So -3.
But still doing okay.
Okay. All right. Not terrible.
Not terrible. It gave you a benefit in wealth and influence and HOA.
Okay. But people, not so much.
No.
I'm literally at 1.
Yes.
I have Steve in accounting as my final member of my family right
now. Well, with a 1 in people, it's you and your spouse.
Steve, my husband, is all that's left of this family. Oh God, what have we done?
You can go to 0 in stats.
Which is back to the undead, is what you're basically telling me right now. And you know what? I'm here for it.
No. If you go to 0, then it's a single life. It's just you.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, and now comes 1928. Okay. Stock market crash, Black Tuesday. How y'all come out of that?
Okay, 1928. Black Tuesday. Okay. 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 12.
Look, I'm gonna let you re-roll that because that'd be the 3rd invasion or revolt that y'all had.
Jesus. What is it about my family getting invaded? Who did we piss off? That is 9, 10.
10 is a positive.
Oh, finally.
10 is glory.
Okay.
Plus 1d6 to everything but wealth and people.
Okay, let's do it. So HOA plus 2. Influence plus 1. People plus so not people,
wealth.
Right? Wealth and people. Okay.
Wealth, and you skip people and land, right? People and wealth and people. You skip wealth and people. So
okay. So land is next, plus 4. Reputation is plus 2. Magic is plus 1.
Okay,
Okay, all right.
That's not bad. Came up glory.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have this song stuck in my head. It's fine. I hate that show, but it's still stuck in my head.
It's a good song.
One song, glory. All right, 1941 to 1945. World War II.
3d6, rolling it now. That is a 11.
Ooh, infrastructure. So in this case, roll me just 2d6.
That is a 7.
Well, each individual die.
Oh, sorry. So 7 for the first one.
No, roll 1d6 and then 1d6.
Oh, okay. So I'll roll the first d6.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 1. And then the second d6 is a 2.
Okay, so what we're doing is I'm just going to put this over here if you are on the chart. Okay. Because you're going to pick 2 of those stats randomly and just assign them. Those die that you just rolled.
Interesting.
Or what you can do is wait until we get into the story to determine where you think it's going to go.
I think I'll wait just to see where it goes.
And then 7d6, where you're going to roll
70.
each one individually and then just assign them to as the bonus die to each individual stat.
Okay. All right, so 76 individually, just to see what I assign each one. Okay, so
you'll be able to put them where you want.
Oh, okay. So okay, I'll put them on. So let's just roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's do this. So first one is a 3. Second one is a 4. Third one is a 4. Fourth one is a 3. Fifth one is a 2. Sixth one is a 3. Seventh one is a 6.
Okay, so here's the thing. Your each tier on the chart for like where your stats are or goes up at the 11s at the 1 spot. So it's 0, 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, etc. Right now you are sitting at a 5 in HOA, a 19 in influence, a 9 in wealth, a 1 in people, a 21 in land, a 6 in reputation, and then a 27 in magic.
Okay.
So every time you go up a tier by an 11 point, each time you go up a value into the 11s, you go up a tier.
Okay.
So right now, like for example, with that,
So I'd basically be in the first tier for HOA, wealth, your people, and reputation right now. Okay. All right.
But you can definitely go up a tier. Like looking at this mathematically, you could go up a tier. You could go up a tier in magic, land, reputation, or HOA, and influence and wealth.
Okay. Okay.
Based purely on the die that you have rolled. Plus, you still have that 1 and that 2 that you can add in.
To anything I want to in the future. Okay. So do I have to pick? Go ahead.
So like as Cole Drake points out in chat, you have a 27 in magic, but if you put that one of those 4s that you rolled in as the bonus die in magic, then it'll bump you up to a 31. And you'll go from being 27 is an established family with a steady small well of magic, or an established family with a small wellspring of magic that occasionally misses a generation, to an established family with a steady small well of magic.
Oh, I like that a lot. So should I just assign that now?
I mean, it's what you want to do, yeah.
Okay. You know what? Because that sounds awesome. Okay, so I'm going to use one of my 4s for that 27 to make it 31. I'm going to use my other 4 for... Interesting.
Because like if you put that 6 that you rolled in reputation, that'll bump you up to a 12.
Do it, please. Okay. So that's 4, 6. Leaving. I'm going to put that 2 that I have into wealth to make it 11. So that should bring me up to the next tier, correct?
Yep. So that brings you up to an 11. You go from impoverished, you lack essential resources and you know how to use food stamps, to poor, you live paycheck to paycheck and you pay your bills most months.
I mean that's fair. That's fair. What's next? I have that 20. What do I have left? I have a 3, a 4, and a 3. I guess I can put, and I have the 1 and 2 extra that I can move to whatever, right?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. 1, 2. I am going to put
anything you put in that influence is going to bump it up.
True. All right, I'll put a 3 into influence.
So you get to 22, which puts you at, some folks, but you aren't a member of the club.
Okay, so I have 2 more left, and I don't think 5 and 1, no matter how much I put in, is going to help me here. Oh, so how about I think I have an extra 3. Oh, heck, why not? I'm gonna put an extra 4 into people for the odd chance I might get some people later down the line because I need some people. What do I have left? I have 3, 4. So I have just a 3 left and a
You
two
have
threes actually.
you have a you have 2 3s, and then the
Okay.
1 and the 2 that you can assign after the fact.
Hmm. My land is already 21.
Yeah, there's no mathematical way you can get to.
All right, then I guess I'll put both threes and under the HOA and land. There's no other place I can put them. And then I'll put the 2 under HOA rating. I'm gonna get a 1 down the line, I
Here's
guess.
the
And
thing: if you want
yep.
to do something just purely based on math, because if you switch the 4 and the 3,
Okay.
so if you put the 3 here and the 3, you put the 3 in people and the 4 in
Oh,
HOA, then you still got the 2 in infrastructure that you can put in HOA to put you at 11.
do it, please. Okay, that definitely works. And then the 1 I can put in honestly, it doesn't matter at this point. Let's say my family is trying to get back up there, but let's put 1 in reputation.
Reputation it is.
Yeah.
All right. So now this is what the mathematics look like. You're sitting at an 11 for HOA, which is a little well loved, but your house is a little well loved, but that just adds character.
Mm-hmm.
Influence at a 22, you know some folks, but you aren't a member of the club. Wealth at an 11, you're poor.
Okay.
People at 4, it's you and your spouse. Land at a 24 is you own your house and some land in the country, keeping an eye on that balloon payment at all times. Reputation at 13 is bless their hearts. Your family's historical scandals still influence opinions, but your attempts to overcome have been noticed.
Mm-hmm.
These are all in
Okay.
the character tables charts, by the way.
Oh, right. Yes, I thought you said. Okay.
And then a 31 in magic, as we said, is an established family with a steady small well of magic. So, this is what the math tells us, and now it is time to find out what the story is for this house.
Mm-hmm.
So, my first question is, as we start to build this story, when does this family get to Savannah? Or what will be? When do they get to the city of Savannah? Or, in their historical timeline.
And that year is around no, the 1820s the defeat. So sometime before 1820.
So they're already in Savannah before that point.
Okay.
I mean, is that what we're saying?
Sure.
Because we can have it come later if you wanted.
Interesting. Uh I'm going to say my family started as a defeat, right? I'm going to say they came in at 1820. They came in as at least the head of the family, the first member of the family, came in as a mercenary to around that area around 1820 and suffered a defeat and decided to stay in the area.
Okay, so let's take the historical events. Book very candidly gives you a nice little breakdown of what they claim the historical events. Your family fought in a war or smaller conflict, but was defeated, losing status, precious resources, and influence. If defeat is your first role, your family might have been swallowed by another house and forced to marry into a lesser branch until your
Ooh.
original bloodline became all but extinct. Is what they're saying, but we can tweak it.
Okay, all right. I like that. I like that.
All right, so the family comes to Savannah. Do they come to Savannah because of the defeat elsewhere, or are they defeated in Savannah?
I like the idea of the absorption of. I like the idea of like two rival houses that came in to try to claim parts of Savannah, and my house was defeated utterly. So
Okay.
we became subsumed into another house. So we were like prominent houses, but due to a defeat, my original house at least is just gone.
Where did they come from?
Ah. Um does it have to be in the American, or it can
Nope.
be
We can have as
okay?
much fun. I've got one of my Pooja helped me build a family that came from India eventually. Then there's a family that came from Eugenio helped me build a family that came from Mexico. And
Oh,
so, we've got families coming from Europe. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be from originally? Let's add color. Let's add spice.
oh, that's interesting. Okay, okay. Mexico. Where do I want to have come from? Uh, let's make it interesting. Yeah. Let's make it really, really interesting. Yeah, sure. Let's make it Nigerian.
Okay. I like this. I like
Yeah,
this.
let's make it and because of the times, let's say it was at the time, at least what they told people is that they were from a Nigerian royal house. So they can get like they claimed they were from a royal house, so that at least the Southerners at the time were like, okay, I mean, I guess you're higher tier. It's fine that you're there. But yeah, I like to say they claim. Whether they were or not, no one needs to know. That doesn't matter.
Okay,
I
so I'm
like
just
that.
looking at the ooh. Okay, so
Mhm.
if we tweak the date a little bit.
Shoot.
Um so there are two events that happen that deal with particularly with Nigeria in the 18 before 1830. Um uh so in 1833 is the end of the Oyo Empire in Nigeria.
Hmm. And that would make sense for the fee. So that would probably so yeah. So since it was the end of the empire, let's say that the royal family. I'm assuming there was a royal. I don't know anything about the Nigerians, but let's say the royal family or some members or maybe the elites or whatever
Mhm.
moved over to Georgia
Yeah,
after that defeat over there.
yeah, because the Oyo Empire was a powerful Yoruba Empire in West Africa, making up present day Benin in western Nigeria,
Mhm.
um, and was established in the 1700s.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so it is a would and the end of the Oyo Empire is Nigeria becomes a full colony of England in 1833. So if we tweak that date to 1833, right?
Hmm.
Which we can do because I picked arbitrary dates.
I mean, fair.
Um, family members related to the rulers of the Oyo Empire in Nigeria flee to Georgia. I have a very important question for you.
Shoot.
Um, we are one of the things I did in this game is to not ignore history that currently existed. So how does this family avoid becoming enslaved? Does this family avoid becoming enslaved in 1833 in Georgia,
I'm going to say
or do
they
they not?
avoid it. No, I'm going to say they avoid it, but because they were wealthy aristocrats, at least in their own time, they go with the flow. Uh, I'm going to say this particular family to basically show that they're above the slaves. owned slaves. They owned a slave plantation.
Which is an unfortunate problem that uh, Nigeria did participate in.
Yeah. So exactly, like because they viewed themselves as above the commoner at the time, like when they went to Georgia, like, oh no, we're not like them. We own them like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Because there's also, as Coldrake pointed out, there's also the Igbo. Yeah, exactly.
Igbo
Something
landing.
that did happen. And then there's also the Igbo landing in 1803, if we want to go there. But that isn't actually but that's a separate event, which actually would make sense. All right, but that's a separate event that I think doesn't really quite fit. All right,
Yeah,
so they managed
fit.
to.
I like to think. Yeah, I think the people that came in here were, because at least if you, I've read a lot of history. I've also like listened to a lot of podcasts. Like people weren't great back in the day. Like I wouldn't want to live there just for a variety of reasons, but for good. So I'm like, I like to think that they're like, to fit with the crowd. These are a family of Nigerian royalty. They came to this world, and it's like, oh, to fit in, they own slaves, and because they viewed themselves as former royalty, they had no problems with it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep.
And,
unfortunately.
And we'll figure out how the I can't wait to see how, like, because that actually makes a lot of sense, right? Like you have a strong magic and you lose only a little bit of magic, but you lose a lot of wealth and land, and you lose a lot of wealth and people. So you lose, a lot of status, but you come back. All right.
Oh, I maybe the reason we had such high views, I was like, maybe at least our family was very magically inclined, which helped us a lot in Nigeria. And now and that's why we viewed ourselves as above, because we are so magical. Like obviously we're superior, we're magic.
And we'll come back.
We'll come back.
We'll come back to how specifically and what that magic looked like as we get into this. All right, so 1861 to 1865, I'm assuming is just because you're in Georgia at this point, you're in Savannah, how did the family do during the Civil War?
Not great. Not exactly great. Let's just say the family was conflicted. There were some on one side like, don't rock the boat. Others on the other side is like, yeah, we can't do the slave thing anymore, guys. It's kind of screwed up. And I'm going to say there was like a civil war within the house.
Ooh, I like
the
this.
older generation versus the younger generation. Because the older generation, were used to wealth. The younger generation were like, yeah, this is screwed up, guys. Why are we doing this? And that was our own internal civil war about what was happening.
So what caused this, because the biggest thing you lose is this reputation, like this massive hit to your reputation. I mean, you lose HOA and wealth and people, but that's all probably tied to the war itself, right? Like
Now, for question, is our reputation for just in the area or like just in the state, or like the people around us? Like
you can define it how you want. How far do you think your reputation spreads? Do you have a reputation outside of Georgia? Do you have a reputation along the rest of the Americas? In the United States?
Let's say this. Our original reputation was tied to, let's be honest, a very racist society, and our reputation was high because we accepted it. And it's like, oh no, yeah, we're above like everyone else. The other people on the other side of the war is like, no, this is wrong. And because of that, like we lost, at least in Georgia, because we lost our reputation there because a bunch of the members of our family were like, no, we're okay with freeing the slaves and this is wrong. And everyone who was on the basically the racist asshole side was like, oh, we don't want to associate with you guys anymore. So we did the right thing, but it cost us.
Okay, so it's the reputation loss is based in
it just specifically in Georgia.
Yeah. My weird thing do thing. So would it be fair to say that you had members of the family who were supporting the Union?
Yes.
And so like that's where your big reputation loss comes in.
Exactly.
You have family members
Exactly.
who are based on supporting the Union. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there we go. Okay. Then in 1864, when William Tecumseh Sherman comes marching through Georgia, you have a catastrophe. A result of the catastrophe is usually indicates a natural disaster, such as an outbreak of plague, blight, or drought, any of which can diminish your population and ability to control your lands. You take the biggest hit to HOA and reputation. You take a little bit of hit to people and wealth. Now, the city of Savannah is not burned because of, well, historically, in the real history, because Sherman himself wasn't in Savannah. He went a little bit further north. And the alderman, a bunch of aldermen and the mayor and a couple like influential society ladies ride out of the city and are like, "Hi, we'll surrender the city, just don't burn it." And in our tweaked timeline, one of those aldermen was actually a member of the Fae who kind of subtly manipulates things to get an agreement that it won't be, the city itself won't be harmed. Also, the other reason they didn't really want to burn it is because they needed it as a functioning port to make a pincer movement against the Carolinas and Georgia.
Okay. So the things that, what are the two things that take the major hit?
The two things that take the biggest hit are HOA and reputation. People and wealth take a significant hit. Like, you lose -4 in people.
Okay. -4 in people. Okay, you know what? Let's say the Savannah didn't get burned, right? Or that area did not get burned.
Well, the city of Savannah didn't, but outside the city, there's a whole bunch of,
it's
yeah, a whole bunch of people burned. A whole bunch of towns and plantations burned.
Let's just say then that my family, basically, before the armies of Sherman came around, like made a deal so that our house would be avoided. And because of that betrayal, we lost a lot of reputation and people and such.
Okay, so Sherman did burn your family land?
Did not avoided us because we made some sort of deal.
Oh, the family made a deal.
Made a
I like
deal.
this. So the family.
Well, like what Coldrake said, a deal that leaked out.
Yeah, that became that others in the area became aware of, which accounts for the loss of reputation.
Exactly.
What? How do you lose people? How people die?
How did people die? What was supposed to be just a small. Oh, okay. Let's say that part of the deal was that we'd hold a portion of their forces in our plantation.
You allowed.
We allowed a portion of the forces in the plantation, and let's just say the Confederates realized that and basically fought them there.
Okay, so
basically, a bunch of my people were basically collateral damage.
So you provided you provided what is the word I'm looking for? Housing.
Safe haven.
Yeah, you provided. Yeah, let's use safe haven.
Yeah.
You provided you
aid.
Yeah, aid and comfort to the enemy. Yeah.
Thank you, Kai Hawkeye.
Yeah, Kai Hawkeye.
Aid and comfort to the enemy.
And billeting. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay, there we go. That much better word.
To the Union. Confederate, actual Confederates or Confederate sympathizers?
Confederate sympathizers. They didn't go for the. I'm gonna say because they're sympathizers, they didn't go for the main army. They went for weaker targets, which were members of my family.
Confederate sympathizers attacked the family in response.
In response, yeah.
That makes sense.
They did not take it well.
They did not take it well.
No.
All right. 1893, the Sea Islands hurricane destroyed seventh most deadly hurricane in America recorded history. It is the one right below Katrina on counts for deadliest population damage. Makes landfall at Tybee in Sea Islands, Georgia. A massive destruction of the city of Savannah. The family suffers an invasion/revolt. How do you wish which we can tweak?
My family is very magical, right?
Yes.
And we were I'm gonna say.
And you don't lose any magic from this. You lose.
Okay.
You lose reputation, you lose people, and you lose power, or HOA. But you don't really lose any influence, you don't lose any land, you don't lose any magic, and you barely lose any wealth.
Just people is what we really lose.
Mostly people. You keep whatever family y'all have, just keep dying, y'all.
I'm gonna say the first couple of roles, like our family was straight up not evil, just evil. But our family did things. But I'm gonna go with that theme. Okay, I'm going to say our family, a highly magical family, was aware of the hurricane coming. And after the loss of reputation and everything, they didn't want to risk anything else. And they thought that any sacrifice was to save their land was worth it. So they started using magic to try to prevent damage. But to stop something as big as a hurricane required a lot of magic. And there's a lot of power in life.
Ooh, family sacrifice?
Family sacrifice. Yeah, it was a family sacrifice. They decided, ooh, I like that. The family, in order to save their family, because they knew using magic that if the hurricane would utterly destroy the family, they could not do the ritual and save and basically have the family destroyed and spread out, or they can keep their holdings and their family and sacrifice the firstborn.
Okay, so this leads to a very important question. Was this a voluntary sacrifice or not?
Nope.
I'm loving all of this. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm going to say this was also found out because apparently this family's not going to keep these secrets. And that's why, like, some people are like, okay, I'm out. Like, I'm going to change my name. I'm done. This is screwed up.
Okay, so is the loss of reputation here loss of reputation amongst other supernaturals that are living in Savannah that are unknown to the rest of the population? Because at this point, we have a very nice family of sand tiger sharks that are living on Tybee. Some dryads that are running a supernatural refuge. There's some witches. The demons are down the street.
I'm going to say, okay, this is a loss of reputation for the magical community.
Okay.
I'm making my characters the bad guys, and I love every aspect of this. I'm going to say, like, our family is known to do whatever is necessary to keep our power, whether it's sacrificing our own family or, I mean, there's so many actively magical people around us in these houses. I mean, what if one of them goes around the corner and just disappears?
I love it. Also, rumors of sacrificing other supernatural. I like them making it not.
Hey, rumors, just rumors. I mean, there's no proof.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so Coldrake is saying, Coldrake said, wow, how his mind works. I'm like, I would like to point out that Arvandus and I met playing a Harlem Unbound Call of Cthulhu game. A beautiful game, by the
Oh,
way.
beautiful. I had so much fun.
God, I wish we had more of that. But
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
just need London to tell. We just need somebody needs to get London on the phone so we can play more.
I mean, actually, I've met him in person. He's also an improviser, and I met him by accident when we went to like the People Improv Theater. I'm like, I should talk to him about running games. But anyway, that's another conversation.
That's a whole other story. That's a whole other
yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this leads to 1914 when the family gains an eccentric ruler. And I don't like the way it's phrased in the core book because the core book uses terminology that I think is a little inappropriate. But they call it a madness. A eccentric ruler, I changed it because I think it makes more sense. Historical event indicates that a particular figure suffered from destructive eccentric behavior, producing unpredictable results with positive and negative outcomes. Note that madness does not necessarily indicate mental illness, but refers to a capricious ruler for any reason.
Okay.
So this capricious ruler for the family gave you a big boost in wealth, a small boost in HOA and influence, but was took this down to, what few people your family had left were almost entirely gone, and now you're down to you and your spouse, one in a single family lineage, and a massive hit to reputation and a small hit to magic. So.
Oh, I like this. Okay. I'm gonna say this eccentric ruler. I'm gonna say this eccentric ruler was gifted with magic. Was a woman born gifted with magic, and as she grew up, she was considered sort of like the savior of the house. Like she would lead the way, and there was sort of like a cult of personality around her. And it kind of went to her head. And basically, she used her magic to basically twist things in the house's favor, which explains the rise in wealth and influence and everything. But we began to notice that, well, over time, over the years, people started missing and the people started getting sick, and realized that she only cared about herself. She was sacrificing the family through ritual, not through outright like blood sacrifice, but like she was literally sucking the life out of people in order to power magic to influence the house. So the loss in people was basically people dying through unknown illnesses and people trying to figure it out until the end when people figured out it was her. And I'm not saying she was buried in a yard somewhere, but she might be there. I don't know.
I have to ask a very, very important question.
Ask away.
It's 1914 to 1918. You're saying that she's causing illnesses that are going to damage the family. Is she the cause of the Spanish flu outbreak?
There is no evidence of that, but maybe.
Because we don't know.
Let's go ahead. Sorry.
Because it's like that's literally one of the greatest questions of history is how it jumps how Spanish flu jumps from the Europe to the Americas.
Our family suffered, and if a few other people have to suffer for us to increase in wealth again, you know what? It's worth the sacrifice.
Start using ritual magic. To drain the family members to
actually, you know what, let's change it up. Like she used it originally in the family members, but like I said, she was basically told her whole life she was the best in the world, and basically used magic above her, and basically she was intended to just use members of the family because using family blood was much more powerful than just a random stranger. But she didn't control it properly, and it spread. She didn't intend for Spanish flu to happen. It just happened.
Yeah, I mean, like it had already been happening on the continent or
Hmm.
in Europe. It just, how did it get to the Americas? Ooh, boat.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Um, Ritual magic to drain the life of family members,
Hmm.
to bolster family wealth and her own power, right?
Exactly. Yeah, she was a narcissist,
Yeah.
100%.
And this a led to the an expansion, let's say,
Hmm.
of the Spanish
Yes.
flu in
It
1918.
let She magically helped the flu spread. I don't know if magically enhanced the spell or helped transport it, something along those lines.
Well, it's so Spanish flu is really unique and interesting when you actually look at it from a pathological
Okay.
from a virology standpoint. It is most harmful to a percentage of the population that should be the best protected. More people who were considered in what is known as the healthy demographic, 18 to 25, healthy male, female, young adults, not children and elderly. More people who were considered healthy died of the Spanish flu than the children or elderly did.
So what you're basically saying, it's a disease that specifically targeted the people with the most potential, the most life force.
Yep.
I love it.
and, and is very why people are very concerned about it and is one of the biggest. Did you? Fun fact, apparently there have been cases of Spanish flu.
Mm-hmm.
Not something we need, really. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so this led to an expansion of the Spanish flu um, in Georgia. And the family, she suddenly died, or she suddenly disappeared or
She
died.
suddenly disappeared. Well, she disappeared officially. I'm gonna leave it open to see what exactly happened to her, but let's just say she was no longer a problem for the family. I'll
Yep.
let you decide what happened to her.
She may or may not be living in the back. She may or may not be, under the backyard with under a couple feet of concrete.
I mean, you know what? Concrete. You know what? I don't know why they decided to put that concrete block there. We're not gonna touch it. Family put it down there.
Yeah, exactly. They need a new patio. It's fine.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So in 1928, with the stock market crash, y'all
Mm-hmm.
have some glory come out.
Oh.
And
Okay.
glory is the family wins glory through a military victory, personal achievement, or by a great act of heroism. Glory is similar to the Ascent, but it focuses on one figure in your family's past. So we need to figure out who is the benefit of this glory and what they did in 1928 to bring, well, how a massive chunk of land, a small amount of magic, a boost to reputation and influence, and a boost to HOA. But the biggest boost is actually to land.
Oh, I like this. Magic is a powerful thing.
Yes.
It can help a lot in with magical spells, stuff like that. Also, sort of predictions, and also sort of getting people when they're at the lowest point. The stock market crash happened. So many people lost their end. But thankfully, one family was out there to give them a reasonable price for their holdings that they were about to lose. I'm going to say that the family took advantage of people who lost everything and bought all their property at the lowest possible rate and basically gained all their land and wealth that way.
Okay, so who is the individual who has this act of glory?
Uh, I am going to say, uh, Najat,
Is it
Najat. Go ahead, sir.
is it is this the new head of the family that comes into being after, you know, this previous eccentric ruler who basically does a lot of murder?
Mm-hmm.
Uh Disappears
Yeah,
or
yeah. I'm gonna say the new head of the family who suddenly appeared to take over, and the other head, like the other elders, basically accepted this person immediately. Like immediately accepted this individual, this guy, who apparently it's like they accepted him right away. Like he took care of a problem they didn't want to deal with. I don't know what that problem might have been. Who knows? Might have been a person they buried under a cinder block. I don't know. But they followed his lead, and he basically, like, instead of magic, he was really good at predicting the stock market and realized that things were going to go bad quickly and decided to take advantage of it. He was not great magically, but he was great with numbers and he was great with people, and he knew the right words to say. Just like, I'll help you. I'll give you. I can't give you so much. My family only has so much money. I'll give you this much so you can move on to a new life. Just give me your land. And knew exactly how to manipulate the land so that after the crash happened, after the economy recovered, our family went well. Our family did okay.
And then he managed to acquire, shall we say?
Listen, 90% of the time he paid a fair price. The other 10% of the time people had to be pushed.
Okay, acquired the land of others.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, he mostly gave them a under fair price.
Mostly gave them a fair price.
Fair-ish price. I mean, I will say he was giving him a fairer price than other people might have given them.
Yeah.
I will give him that much, even though it's probably a couple of cents more. But he's got to maintain a business. It's a business. It's a business.
Yeah.
Listen, we're not magic. We're not magic people. We're a business people. Business is its own magic, and he was damn good at business magic.
Look, we're all right. So now in 1941, in 1945, during World War II, we get a boost in reputation and a boost in HOA rating. How? How do we get that boost in reputation?
My family bought so many bonds. Just all the bonds. Like, this was of course, a righteous war. A war we had to win. We put our money in bonds to give to the government to go out there. We put our money into factories to get things working. We put our money into contracts to make sure that once the war is over, we own a significant stock in the company. The important thing is to make sure that America is great.
Okay.
So basic gist, our company basically helped, it gave a ton of money to the government.
Which is how you end up poor.
Exactly. But we also bought a lot of influence with like a lot of stocks in companies and a lot of stocks in
not influence, but reputation.
Reputation. Like, yes, we lost a lot of cash in the war, but we gained a lot of respect from the people around us because of our efforts in the war. I mean, we didn't sacrifice any of our people. I mean, there's like barely enough of us as it is. We're not going to sacrifice people to like fight, but we'll give some money. We'll throw some money in that way.
Okay. I'm liking this. I'm liking where this goes. All right, so now we're going to boost back to what type. Okay, so one of the document on character tables, there's an actual character options. Do you have an idea of what type of supernatural family this is? Because the general options are Fae, Celestials, Greater Undead, Shifters, and Magical Humans. And there are subspecies within that.
Interesting. Not undead. Shapeshifters, magical humans. Let's go simple. I'm assuming we have, the other families like were sharks and vampires and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just go straight up magical, greedy humans.
I like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back to this point about the family coming from Nigeria and that they are a magical family in Nigeria. So Um, one of the things that we get from this, I'm gonna say, is because I'm going back to this okay, so the Oyo Empire is so would it be fair to say like you are of the shaman class caste in Nigeria?
I'm going to say yes. That probably makes sense. That we were basically elite shamans who used our magic for the benefit of whoever was in charge. Our people, like, we never ruled, but we basically ruled from behind the throne.
Yes, you were elite shamans. Okay, so
Exactly.
then this leads to the next question because we know that this family likes to use magic to get out of problems that they have.
Yep.
Would it also be fair to say that in 1833 when the family came from Nigeria to Georgia that they mayhap used their magic to subtly encourage others from paying too much attention to them in the sense
Oh,
that you know
100%. They used their magic to make themselves more. Let's see, they use their magic to make themselves more acceptable to the people around them. Like, it wasn't outright like mind control, but it was like influence magic. It's like people like started accepting them as, oh, they're just part of the of people that are around here. So any objections they might have had were not gone but lessened because of
yeah,
this
it's like
magic.
we're not really going to actually consider the fact that they might be doing a Jedi mind trick on people to make them ignore the fact that they are blacks who have
Yep.
land and property in
Yep.
1833 in Georgia.
Yeah, and because I'm gonna say it's more subtle,
Yes.
sort of magic. It's more like, because they were royalty and they said that extensively. So like, it's because of that truth they're able to use the magic to influence people. Like, it's much more subtle. Like, of course they're royalty, so of course they're different, because racism, they're just like in their minds already a caste system. So the magic helps them like overcome that hurt.
Yeah, just a little bit of, you know,
Just a little push, just a
just a
little
little
push,
push.
just a little push.
Okay, I like this. All right, so in this, in okay, so 1833, the family comes. And in 1833, you go from in Nigeria, the family is starts at a nuclear family is so the nuclear family. A few of you die on the journey or die in the defeat of the Oyo
Mhm.
Empire. Um, but it's mostly still a nuclear family, so parents and children, right?
Yes.
Um, and your family never gets very large, and eventually will
No.
come down to just two people. Um, so this generational conflict that occurs during the Civil War. Um, let's get some names on some people so we can figure
Okay.
out who we got, and then where's this generational conflict come from, and how and who dies in that generational conflict, right? Because Civil War, more people die. Your family just dies all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So so current times, with
Mm-hmm.
the time of the setting, there's like two people left.
Yeah, by 1945, it's you are at one, or no, you're at four. You're at four because of bonus die, which is
Okay,
you
so
and
there's
your
four people.
spouse.
Okay, so me and my spouse. So let's just say during the time of this generational conflict, let's just say there weren't that many to begin with. So let's say maybe 12, 18 people before the conflict.
Okay.
And the shift, I'm basically looking at Nigerian baby names right now. So give me a second.
Oh,
I'm
that's
going
okay.
to say, yeah, okay. So for boys and girls, 1 second. Here we go. And if I mispronounce any of these names, I am sorry. Let's see here. Let's just say, okay. There was a conflict between, let's get super magical here, between two twins, fraternal twins.
Okay,
Uh,
so it's not a generational conflict during the war. It's between two, like the so in this it's the twins are the twin.
yeah, I'm gonna change it. Basically, these two twins split the family in this time. There was Adana, uh, the female fraternal twin, and Dola,
I
the
need you to
male
write
fraternal twin.
those.
Okay,
I
I'll
have
write in the
I
chat.
have a sound symbol relationships problem, and if I don't see it
Oh,
written
sorry.
out,
I
I
apologize. I
no, it's not a
apologize.
worry. Yeah, more
Okay, so
twins, more twins. I'm here for this.
okay, and Dola, there it is. I put it on chat.
Okay, so
Okay,
Adana and Dola are
so
the leading the family during the Civil
yes,
War.
they are the blessed twins, as they were called, because apparently they were highly magical, but they had different viewpoints on the war and how their family has been so far, and they basically split the family in twain.
Okay, so
And because
Adana
of
is
this,
she her.
yes, and Dola is he him.
Okay, and twins, highly magical,
Mm-hmm.
split the family over supporting the Union
Yeah,
or
and
Confederates.
I'm gonna roll randomly to decide which side was which. So, 1 to 3, Donna was pro union. 4 to 6, Dola was pro union. Adana was pro union. She wanted to join the union because she's decided that what was happening with. I'm going to say she didn't view. She wasn't like many people in her family. She didn't view slaves as different from herself. She thought she knew it was wrong. Dola was basically like, no, we're the superior people. We have magic. They don't. And there was that civil war between them.
And so she was a liberationist.
She was a liberationist, yes.
Okay. So then I take it that she ends up winning.
She does end up winning, yes, but not without great sacrifice.
Does she kill her brother?
Oh yes, it was a brutal fight, a brutal magical fight, and honestly, what was left of her brother was not pretty.
Okay, so she decides that they're going to be pro-union and support the union, which leads to that making that deal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
to protect the property.
Yep.
Okay. So my next question is: the family comes in 1833. Adana and Dola become the powerhouses of the family in 1861 ish.
Mm-hmm.
Is it their parents who come or their grandparents who come?
Uh, I am going to say, yeah, I'm going to say the grandparents. Like grandparents are old school, like straight up. Yeah, the grandparents are straight up old school. Uh, we were the rulers of an empire. We can be the rulers of an empire. The parents are more Americanized, but they still follow the grandparents' will. The grandchildren are more inclined to change.
Okay, so yeah, so because they're going to come in 1833, if we say they're in
Mm,
their 30s, right? In like
mm,
1833, by
mm-hmm,
1861, they're in their 60s.
mm-hmm.
They have adult children. Well, no, if we make them a little bit older, right?
Yes, yes,
Because if we want Adana and Dola to be their grandchildren, we need to have them be like 60 in 1833,
yes.
right? Because then we have. I'm doing this generationally, right? So if we say they're
Okay.
60 in 1833 and their children were born, their children in their 20s
Mm-hmm.
in 1833, and then Adana, well, let's say, how old are Adana and Dola in 1861? Let's do it that way. Let's
Uh,
go backwards from there.
let's just say they're both 18.
Okay, so they're 18. Well, okay, so if they're 18 in 1861. They're born in 1843. So, yeah, so if we say the grandparents were 50 in 1833 when they come to Georgia, and then their children are like 20 in 1843.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Adana and Dola are born. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just to, keep things kind of straight in my head.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a good question, Coldrake X. Are they regular humans or are they longer lived because of their magic?
I'm going to say they're longer lived, but they've learned to disappear after a certain time. And eventually he's like, oh, he died. Of course, it's a closed casket funeral. They don't want to be fear as weird to the people. I mean, their magic only goes so far. So they're longer lived. I'm gonna say they can live as fully functioning adults. Like they don't suffer the effects of old age until like the last couple of years of their life. So they can live on average about 120 years.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But no to remove. Okay, so the family is longer lived, but no to remove themselves from public view.
Mm-hmm.
To keep the appearances.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna say when they decide to move on, those who just basically are hidden away in like maybe I don't know, like a townhouse or someplace, they are called the elders.
They're called the elders then?
Or yes, those who are old enough to like disappear are called the elders. They're the ones that are supposed to be listened to for wisdom. Supposed to be. Whether they are there or not, that's the question. Of course, there's like 2 of them left, so I don't know how many elders are left, but we'll see.
Live. Age doesn't begin to affect them until the last 20 years of their life.
Yeah, 20ish years of their life is when they. So once they hit the 100, that's when they start like. Well, I like that what Coldrake suggests. Longer live, more of that draining life force to sustain them, and we already established they're like take power from people,
including their own family members.
I'm going to say like they live longer, but it's not as it's much more subtle. So if people are paying attention, they might notice. You know what? Uncle Bill, like kind of sickly in his 60s.
Oh, I like this. Mm-hmm. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I support this darkness.
Yeah.
It's okay. We already have a family of demons.
Yeah.
Well, no, not demons. They're only fallen angels who just employ demons.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so... Okay. So who was pulling this family sacrifice during the hurricane?
What year was the hurricane?
1893.
1893. So 30 years or so after the Twin War.
Yeah. Adana would be in her 40s.
Adana would be in her 40s.
Well, she's 50, actually, just 50.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say Adana made a mistake. That's the problem with sympathy. Because she loved her brother so much that she didn't fully kill him. And he came back.
Ooh. I love this.
And Adana died by her brother's hand.
So Adana is the one who's sacrificed by her brother.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's a question. Did he return specifically for this event, or was he kind of like building up his influence over this period of time?
I'm going to say specifically for this event because this was not a natural hurricane, and he knew it.
Okay, so then this question is, is the hurricane unnatural because somebody caused it? Or is the hurricane unnatural because
I'm
he
not.
just knew about it?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it was natural for another reasons, maybe some other event around the world. He doesn't know, but he felt the magic in this hurricane. He's like, I can use this.
Okay. It's not natural. He's just taking advantage of somebody else's casting, basically.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, Heal her brother. Would it be fair to say that Adana left him horribly maimed?
Oh, not only horribly maimed, but horribly cursed. Like it was basically the if you've seen Dune, it's basically what happened to Horace Harkonnen. Like he I'm gonna say like she basically left him with like because her family's power is basically curses and sickness. Like Dola won technically, but he was cursed for it and suffered eternally until he died. Well, no, he suffered immensely until he died. So any power he would have gained is gone because he was just too busy being angry and in pain.
Okay, so Adana, when Dola kills Adana, um, it's any power he would have gained is, subsumed by his own anger and curse.
Exactly.
I love all of this, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so now we need the very eccentric ruler who was well into human family sacrifice.
Mm. Easy enough. Dola again.
Well,
Basically, what? Go ahead.
okay, so we're going to change it from because you gave it as a her,
Oh, right, I did, didn't I?
and it is 20
Yeah,
years later.
it was 20 years later. But I already established they were long lived. So
Yeah,
let's
you did.
change that up a bit. Yeah, so let's change it up. It's Dola discovering a way to basically trying to remove the curse, and discovered a way to do it, but it would require a ton of human sacrifice.
Okay, so getting rid of the whole cursive personality thing. Or does he already build up a cult of personality?
Over the 20 years, like he's built up a curse of personality. Like I can show you the way for our family to be great again. We will make our family great again. Full on narcissistic dictatorship happening for this guy. And he's willing to sacrifice anything. And people, at least in the beginning, are willing to sacrifice for him because of the cult of personality. But I'm going to say it gets a little too far down the
road. Okay, so then let's lead to this next question.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be fair to say that he uses some of that magic that he gets from killing his sister and to build up his own support within the family?
Oh yeah, definitely. Makes perfect sense.
Okay. So then let's lead to the question of this new head that comes out in 1928.
I am going to say this new head, this will be a her, Uh, her name is. Let me see. Adesina. I'll write it in the chat. Adesina. During the height of the ritual, she stabs him in the heart and takes over.
Okay, so he. Okay. Okay, so we're saying Adesina takes over in 1918?
Yes, in 1918. Like he's like over the years, over the decades, he's been sacrificing people, including members of family. Basically, he's been working for decades trying to remove this curse. He has been the long-lived head of the house, and he's built a cult of personality. And basically people were afraid. And she, I'm going to say, this young woman of let's say 16, 18, something around those lines.
Okay, so would it be okay? So let's think about this. Okay, so she gains glory in 1928 with the stock market crash, right?
Oh right, yes, she did, didn't she?
So if she's does she kill him? So she you're saying we're saying that she kills him before the crash when she officially takes power.
I'm going to say yes. Before the crash, she kills him.
Okay, so sometime between 1918 and 1928.
Exactly, exactly.
Do we want to say so born in 1910?
Question. So the glory is what is increased with glory?
Glory increased land, reputation, magic, influence, and HOA. The biggest bump was to land.
Hmm. Okay. So with all those boosts, yes. She did wait for the ritual to kill him, but that doesn't mean she's a good person.
No. Okay, so
She
so she,
Adesina. She basically stabbed him. She knew exactly. She was one of her most trusted people. She convinced him that she was told she convinced him she was totally brainwashed, but she was waiting for the right time to take some of the magic. She couldn't take it all, but she took a significant amount of the magic when she stabbed him in the chest and killed him. Using that magic, she was able to make predictions about the stock market and about the crash, some sort of future prediction, and used it to basically take a substantial amount of land and other properties and reputation. For at least for a year or two, she knew exactly what was going to happen in the future and took advantage of that.
how old is she? So we're saying she's 18 in 1928. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, as long as these people are, they kill each other around their 40s. It's terrible. It's terrible. This family.
Yeah. Lots of murder. Yeah. So
Oh, so much murder.
the family went up. No, the family hasn't gone up. The family has not gone up ever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hasn't gone down in the last two generations after killing off Dola, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So by 1941, is she still the one that's heavily in power? Right? It's like it's her and her spouse kind of thing.
I'm gonna say it makes sense for her and her spouse to still be in power. Like they're the only two people left after killing Dola, and perhaps some people who were still influenced by Dola.
Yeah.
She cleaned house quite literally.
She is should be 31 in 1941.
Yep.
Um Okay, who is her spouse?
Hmm. Good question. Her spouse is Oliver Jones. Uh, Honestly, kind of weak-willed, Weasley little Caucasian man who was basically married off to her for honestly political power.
Ooh, I like this. Okay, so her husband is Oliver Jones, but he takes her name, right?
Oh yeah, 100% takes her name.
Married off for political reasons. By his family.
Yes. For
And we're saying he's white?
Yes.
Cool. We're gonna get to address misogynation. All right. Does he have any magic?
No, not at all. She would not accept anyone who a partner who also has magic. She does not want to share power.
So, what is she, I mean, she gets a white husband out of this, but what really does she get out of this? Like,
what does she really get out of this?
I mean, because like we know he's non-magical. But what political benefit? Because it gives him a little bit of boost in reputation, a little bit of boost.
Oh, I like that. Political. He's from a very powerful political house, at least in Georgia, and perhaps further on.
Okay, so he from a powerful political family in Georgia. I'm gonna say younger son, probably.
Yes, definitely.
Because there's lots of. All right. I like this. I like this. Do we have a family name?
Fantastic question. 1 second. I'm going to say that in order to fit in, but they combined a Nigerian last name with a sort of Americanized version. So they were originally Igwe, which was IG. Let me type it in. IGWE. But they changed it. Oh, sorry, IGW. They changed it to Igwe Sun to make it when they first came, 1833.
Okay, so families.
Igwe Sun. Or Igwe Sun. Igwe Sun. So Igwe, I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly. But Igwe, and then they changed it to Igwe Sun.
Igwasun. And of course, you add a southern draw to it and it becomes Igwasun.
Igwasun, of course. So we're part of the Igwasun family. We have been here for generations, ever since we crossed the seas to this land of opportunity where even we could gain the chance to be part of the American dream.
I love every bit about this, y'all. Ooh, I like all of this. Okay, so I have to ask this question.
Shoot.
Does Adesina still participate in perhaps some of those dark rituals in the dark night?
Well, she's gonna. Well, listen. What's the point of power if you don't use it?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right. So, this is what we've got so far. Is there anything you think we need to add to this?
Hmm. I will say that she, Adana, no, sorry, Adesina,
Well, I guess that's the other
she
question. We have to figure out how Adesina is related.
to Adana or
Well, to
to.
Adana and Dola, right? Like, is she Dola's granddaughter? Is she Adana's granddaughter? Is she.
I'm going to say she was Adola's granddaughter. That's why he trusted her so much.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Adesina's main goal is the restoration of her house by any means necessary. So one of the first. Oh, this is strong in so many levels, and I'm down, and I love it. Political power was the main reason for uh for marrying well, I forgot what he called Oliver Jones or Oliver
Yeah.
originally. But she also used her magic to realize that although he was non-magical, uh the offspring they have together will be magical. She aims to restore her house to glory. She aims to repopulate the numbers. Not just through, the usual fun ways of doing that, but also perhaps the adoption of other children she can influence.
Oh, are they taking on charity work?
Oh yeah, and if one of those children, one of those sweet, sweet dear children has high magical ability, she'll make sure they join the family and taught the right way to think.
And that right way is murder. Um,
No, 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 not murder. It's doing whatever's necessary to keep the family strong.
murder.
I will. Well, yes. Okay, murder is gonna happen. Okay, but it's not the only thing. Sometimes there's murder.
Thank you for this. I love every
Yeah.
bit about this. All right,
Oh
so
yeah, I know.
she is looking. She is through both adoption and uh childbirth or breeding. It's what she's doing, right? She's
Yes,
magically breeding.
yes, no, not necessarily. I mean, she's planning to have a child eventually. She's just too busy right now. But she's also willing to adopt people into the family.
Ooh, Cauldrick brings up an interesting question. Was Oliver's
Oh,
name different than Jones? He had to change it because of mixed race marriage, to protect Oliver's true family name or political
oh, I
connections.
like that.
Because technically miscegenation is legal in this state
Oh,
at
okay, I
this
like that.
point.
Yeah, he was forced to change it. I'm gonna say yeah, he was forced to change it because his family at the time was like very political and they didn't want to be known to have one of their family members to have married a dark skinned person. But honestly, uh, I'm gonna say Adesina doesn't care because their family name is kept strong.
And I think
That's
and I
good.
think realistically she doesn't care so much about based on what we just said, she doesn't care so much about the political gain is she knows that he will give her a truly magical child.
Exactly, exactly. He is a tool, and
I
he treats him like a tool. Like
I
I said,
have
he is very weak willed.
I have to ask a question
Shoot.
because we are going into this family and this family be dark as fuck and I love it.
Oh, okay.
We've already established that this family has some loose morals when it comes to manipulation of the mind.
Just a little. Just loose is such a harsh word. It's more like like it's bendy. It's a bendy morality.
A bendy morality when it comes to the
Yeah.
sanctity of one's mind and thoughts. Um,
Okay.
is did did she pick him purely for the magic and then manipulated things so that they would get married?
Like I said, he was very weak willed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Did she manipulate just him or other members of his family?
His family is very old school politicians. Do you really think they would have allowed him to marry a dark skinned woman?
That's why his name was changed. All right.
Hmm.
She had a Cena fucked with his mind.
Hmm.
To an extent.
To an extent. Like I said, her magic is not outright like mind control. It's more subtle. So basically, she still has to know about the person, and like basically, you have to be smart about the use of the magic. It's like, oh, I know that this person have these certain beliefs, that I use my magic to influence them, so that they're convinced they thought of this idea.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, like the smarter the person who uses the magic, the better the outcome, because they're able to. The more they're able to manipulate people without powers, the better their magic works.
That works. That works. All right, so I guess I have to ask the next question.
Shoot.
How do they get along with? Well, that's all she needed to manipulate at that moment. How do they get along with other powerful supernatural families in the area? We've got some wonderful, wonderful people, you know. We've got, well, I don't think don't think they really care about the Selkie, mostly because she doesn't move in till later, and she's just got horrible, horrible luck. The Eldridges are the were sand tiger sharks. They're mostly on Tybee, though, so you've got the Mexican family. Oh. We've got the Mexican celestial, quasi-celestial family. We've got the La Fayettes. The French Fae. Okay. We've got the Irish and Sicilian pirate witches. And oh yes, the Dryads who run the Supernatural Refuge. And the Indian family. But they didn't come to Georgia until World War I. Indian semi-divines.
I'm going to say that every single family she will be friend with outwardly, but she will always find a way to use them for her own gain. She only cares about the rise of her family.
I see it.
And basically, if there is a moment of weakness, she will exploit it, 100%.
Coldrick does ask a good question. Would this family even mingle with any who are not considered equal in magic?
Normally I would say no, but there's only 2 of them left. So she is willing to compromise in order to regain her power. Outwardly, she'll be friendly. Inwardly, she will think less of them.
I love this judgmental murder family. We are not good people. It's okay.
No. They are. We said they're like I am gifting you with an evil house. Like straight up, like these are monsters. Enjoy.
I support having multiple monsters, apparently.
And the best part is they're just regular people with magic.
Yep.
They're just straight up like we're jerks. And I love every second of that.
The various families have different roles in regard to magic. CZ Gray, this game that I'm building is a Southern Gothic urban fantasy game, and set in 1945 and going through the year 2000. And in the city of Savannah, Georgia, in a small subdivision we are calling Carousel Court. Different families, there are different creatures and supernaturals, families that have different amounts of magic. We haven't gotten into really how political those families will be, or how much that magic will play into the politics of like the country club. Yet, mostly because by 1941, that level of magic was not um public, shall we say. Also, if you uh want to know and you want to check it out, hi, there's a very nice YouTube playlist of all of the previous house builds, including the ones I've done with the 4 of the 5 players so far. So it's been an interesting time, an interesting drama. So we'll see how that all plays out and see how magic will influence things or not, as the case may be. Panda in chat helped me build a very nice family of Irish Sicilian pirate witches. I'm very happy about them. They are great.
Nice.
Much drama. All right. Is there anything else you think I need to know about this family? What else?
Let's see here. Establish their motivation. Well, her motivations. His motivations doesn't matter because he's a tool.
And I don't think he has any free will at this moment, so I don't know if he can have a motivation.
I mean, you know, he smiles pretty well. He's a good pretty boy to stand on the side, but his mind is pretty much broken. She has her establishment. Her house is pretty empty. I mean, magic is high. Would she she's poor, right?
Yes, poor. Not impoverished, just poor.
Just poor? Okay. Okay. Nothing I can think of top of my head. Like, I think she's fairly well established. It's just a person trying to regain power for her house after it was destroyed by Dola in his mad rush for power. And also curing the curse that was unleashed upon him for, some would say, good reasons. I don't know why.
Almost perhaps like he did a bunch of murder.
I mean, listen, it's more like manslaughter. He didn't mean to kill those people. He just needed their life force. Totally different.
Yes, slow murder versus fast murder.
Exactly. And I'm going to be honest, like, because it's just her, she's only like 31, so she doesn't actually know, reaching her 30s. Yeah, she would. I'm going to add this. Once she reaches her 30s, she's going to start employing some of that magic to slowly suck people's life out, so she lives to the right over to 120-ish. So I'm not sure how you want to establish it, but like, it's slow and slow, and she can take magic life force from multiple people. So later on down the line, people might notice, you know what? Bobby's only living until he's like 70. He should have lived until like he was 75.
I guess my next question is, I do like CZ's question here. Does she have a line she does not cross?
Children. She would never take life force of children.
Does not.
She would not attack children.
Drain children.
Yes.
She. And okay, I guess this is the next question. She's 31. Or 30, right? 30-ish. By this point. How long have she and Oliver been married? They don't have any children yet.
I'm going to say they've been married for about 5 years. She got married at 25. And I'm going to say, like, she knows she needs to have a child. But she does not want to, she's not the type of person to be hampered by things like a pregnancy. So she's been actively avoiding it. She's been focusing more on the adoption angle. Like, I'm not going to say she's consciously avoiding it. More like subconsciously saying, like, oh, I'm too busy, or I have all these plans, and basically avoiding it 100%.
Possibly due to her own magical influence, because she knows that Oliver will give her a magical child. But maybe it's not right. The time's not right.
Maybe she needs to wait for the next hurricane.
Or natural disaster.
Exactly.
I have to look that up.
Although coitus during a hurricane, that is, I'm gonna put that on my bucket list. Give me a second. Write that down.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Possibly due to magical influence, and possibly okay. Well then, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, I think I'm good as well. I think we've established this house as being, well, upstanding citizens of society.
Oh, so upstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess we could do because we have a little bit of time left.
Okay.
Um, we want to figure out anything about their coat of arms
Oh,
and
coat of arms.
motto?
Oh, wow. Okay. Coat of arms. What would their coat of arms be?
So
Hmm.
in the Sword Chronicle book, which I shared with you, it is in on page 79 in the book.
Yeah, one second.
Distinctions is what they're called. Um, mottos are, the family motto.
Hmm.
And we can mess around with coat of arms, but I think this family needs a motto.
All right. What was the page again?
79.
79. Let me dump this thing.
What words bring to mind this family?
Hmm. Let me just open it real quick. And I think. Oh, I think I've got it. Might is magic.
Family motto. Might is magic. I like it. I like it.
Distinctions. Okay.
Yes, it is a very nice distinction. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's a whole bunch of meaning behind the coat of arms.
Hmm. Oh, that is extensive. Okay.
Yeah, we can kind of skip it.
All right. Yeah,
But it is. We're going to have to come up with a visual distinction so that murder is the family motto. No, that's
is
just
that
the
on the
family
Twitch?
action.
That is the family action. We can't outright say murder. People might just, have the wrong idea about the family. But might is magic. And
I like having the motto though. Might is magic makes sense.
mm-hmm.
Okay. All right then. I think that's everything else. Might have to play around after the fact to figure out a coat of arms or something.
Actually, I'm looking this up. What is juju? Is a spiritual belief system incorporating objects such as amulets and spells used in religious practices in West Africa by the people of Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Congo, and Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this.
All right.
Like, where are you going?
Okay. I'm not sure about the color yet, but I'm going to say that the symbol incorporates what looks like an amulet.
It looks like a what?
Amulet.
Okay.
But the jewel at the front of the amulet for that particular symbol is, what is a good symbol to put there? Okay. thorns, sickly thorns that entwine the amulet.
Ooh, like they're dripping thorns, dripping what look like blood or poison.
Exactly. Exactly. So actually, let's change it up. It's an amulet made of poison thorns. It is a yes, an amulet made of poison thorn. It's something you put on that causes you pain, but is necessary for power.
Ooh, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I like all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I like. We are. All right, I think that's literally everything I need from this. I think we're done.
Okay, great. I honestly, I love this. This is fantastic.
It is really great, and I really appreciate you being here and helping me do this.
Of course, anytime. This is fun. I'd love to do it again.
Oh, we probably will. There'll be more of this.
Okay.
But thank you. Why don't you tell the fine people on the internet where they can find you, and don't forget you can drop links in chat.
Okay, cool. Actually, let me go switch over to the Twitch chat. Okay, guys, you can. My name is Jesus, but you can find me on Twitter at Arvandus. You can find me on Instagram as JA Robotic. I'm gonna put Twitter now, Arvandus. Instagram JA Robotic. That is not how you spell robot. That is how you spell robot. So I also part of a podcast that has been around for 10-ish plus years called Fanable.com. Tabs right there. There we go. I play games with a bunch of my other friends, and we played a wide variety of games from D&D to indie games to World of Darkness to whatever we're just honestly inclined to. Honestly, we just play random games. I also have a personal YouTube channel called Arvandus where I do lore videos in a storytelling style for various war games because I'm that much of a nerd. And honestly, that's about it. I just like being on the internet, talking to people, and I just want to do more of this stuff. So yeah, that's it.
Yes, I can firmly recommend follow Arvandus on YouTube. The lore videos are great. I love watching them. They're great background for while I'm working.
Awesome.
They're a lot of fun. And Fandible is a lot of fun. They're just great stories and really great people. But hey, as for me, you all know me. I'm at Dirgeon on Twitter or Praxgorth Esmiophoria. As you see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. Here to tell stories. And I get to do another one of these tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. The wonderfully fabulous Cipher of Tyr is going to come join and help me build the second to last NPC house that we're going to have.
Ooh, nice.
And then on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, the season 2 finale of A Song of Agapia's Fortune. My high level D&D campaign set in my own homebrew world. They have an army. They are underground. There's a lich in front of them with a cult and some wraiths and possibly a ghostly dragon. We'll see how it comes out, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, the series finale of Witcher Roads Home. 5 years in the making, but a beautiful, beautiful story that I cannot wait to see how it ends. So much drama, so much fun this week. But if you missed out on anything or you want to check out any of these and they sound like interesting stories for you, you can check out the YouTube. It's right over there. It's same thing, Praxgorth Esmiophoria on YouTube. And all nice, neat little playlists if you want to check them out. There's also a Ko-Fi. If you like what I do here, it helps support it, helps me pay for character art, helps me buy equipment to run this whole thing, all of that good stuff. And last but not least, there is a merch store that I have been putting together. And the last thing that we added on was most recently was the I Survived the Lord Math Experience t-shirt. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, well, there's a playlist on YouTube about the Witcher game. I'd go look that up. But other than that, I will see you all tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern We should see if there's anybody up that we can go raid and send some love to. Ah, we should go raid Lady Luck. Mandy is playing some Mega Man, and we want to appreciate Mandy for the wonderful joy that she brings to life. So until next time, everybody.